Hello, I'm Alexandra and welcome back to my channel. I am currently doing 30 videos in 30 days to celebrate the fact that I'm turning 30. And today's video is about some writers that I will always be reading, and I will always add their book to my never-ending to-be-read pile. My first plan was to do 30 writers, but I'm like 30 is quite a lot. So we'll go in the order I wrote them. There's a lot of different types of books, and some of the writers are like dead. I'm looking at my list, dead, so eventually I won't have any books to add to my TBR, but I just wanted to talk about them. So let's get starting. I have Brandon Sanderson. Brandon Sanderson writes fantasy. I think his books are always very good. Some are not that great, but overall I always enjoy all of his books. Last year I tried to do a challenge where I was reading one book a month. Didn't happen, but I did read like 7 or 8 books. And if you don't know him, his books are very thick. Some are shorter, but most of them are like 1,000 pages long or so. So they're a very thick book, but for sure worth it. Then I put Kristen Hanna. Earlier this month I did a spotlight on her. I love her. I've cried in all of her books, so they're very gut-wrenching. She has published some historical romance before she got very popular. I think they're still very good, but her newer work, amazing. Then I picked up romance writer Laurie Foster. She writes like spicy contemporary romance. I feel like her older work is better, more spicier, more dark romance. Her newer work is more just romance, but still very good. Also, I always find her books in used bookstores, so that's very great. Then another romance writer, Nicholas Sparks. I've read almost all of his books. I think I'm missing 2 or 3. Sometimes I cry. I think they're very good. I feel like his older work is more mainstream. His newer work focuses on different topics that are usually harder to read, but overall I still enjoy all of his books. Then I put Stephanie Meyer, the writer of Twilight. It's not because she's good that I'm putting her on the list. It's just I feel like if she publishes another book, I will be reading it. I've read... Oh, what is the name of that book? Can't see. Anyways, the new book, first book, but in the Edward's point of view, which was absolutely horrible, but I did buy the book and read it, and I think it's gonna happen for all of her books. So anyways, then we have Emily Henry, which is another romance writer. I feel like her older work is better. She got too popular too soon, I feel like, and now all of her books kind of feel similar to me, but I will still be reading her because I enjoy her books, even though I feel like they're getting worse. But, we'll see. I still have hope. Then I put Khaled Hosseini, the writer of The Kite Runner. I've read all of his books, if I'm not mistaken, and they are so good, but I feel like it doesn't publish as much. But if he comes out with another book, I will be reading it for sure. Then we have Diana Gabaldon, the writer of Outlander. I've read all the Outlander books. I've read most of the spin-off called Lord John series, and I believe she came out with other books. I'm not sure. But for sure, the next book in the Outlander series, I will be reading it. Yeah, I love that series so much. Also, the books are very big, but don't be afraid, they're very good. Then apparently I love romance because I put another romance writer, which is Abby Glines. She used to write more contemporary romance with like high schooler, but like 17, 18 years old, and that was good, very good actually. And then she started a couple years ago, I think with like 2021 or something, to write dark romance with mafia people, which I love. They're so good. I read them on Kindle Unlimited, but I think she took them out of Kindle Unlimited. Not sure. Anyways, but yeah, so good. Then I put Greg Iles. Unfortunately, Greg Iles passed away last year, so in 2025, from a cancer he had for a long time. He writes thriller type of books, They're very thick books, but they're so good. Like, you get into the story like this, and I love the fact that, like, they're not necessarily a series, but you see people from other books. Like, you know, it's most of them are in the same town or around that town, so like all families are connected and all of that, but you can read them as standalones, which is very good because sometimes you don't want to read a very long series, but that one, very good. Then I put Carlos Ruiz Zafón, who also passed away a couple of years ago from a cancer. Both were young, okay? I'm sad, but anyways, Carlos Ruiz Zafón has written The Shadow of the Wind, which is part of a 4-book series that is absolutely incredible. So in The Shadow of the Wind, you follow a young guy. So in The Shadow of the Wind, you follow this young guy who goes to the cemetery of forgotten books and pick up a book that he's gonna read, and, you know, and all gets like the book is real life, but it's not, and all of that, but it's so good, amazing. He has published other books also from different worlds, and they are so good. Like, if you have never read anything by him, you should, because amazing. Then I put Michael Ondaatje. He is the winner of the Booker Prize from 1997, I believe, for the English Patient. His books are very focused on wars, but they are very good, very well written, but at the same time, if you don't enjoy literary fiction or, yeah, post-colonial literature, anyways, don't read them, but at the same time, you should. They are so good. And he's still alive, but he's like 90 years old, so. Then I put another romance writer, but this time historical romance. I put Tessa Dare. I've read all of her books. They are amazing. I think she's the best historical romance writer from the books I have read. Unfortunately, I think she got sick from something. Anyway, she hasn't published in a couple of years. I'm very excited to read her next book. Hopefully she will publish another one. I'm hoping, because one of the series is not done, so kind of want to know the end. But yeah, Tessa Dare. Also, you can find most of her books used, I think. So that's a good option. Then I put Wajdi Mouawad, which is a post-colonial writer. He writes mostly about like wars, but also sometimes subjects that are like contemporary, I guess. He writes in French. Some of his books have been translated. He writes plays. One of my favorite, I have it here, Incendie, has been translated to Scorch. I think everything he talks about in those books are very harsh subject, but also subjects that we need to talk about. So yeah, that was some of the writers. I will always be reading their new books, or all of their books, honestly. So yeah, it's quite a long list, but I love reading. Yeah. So yeah, it's gonna be at the end of this video. Thank you for watching. If you want to follow along during this month, please subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!